Hey you guys, and welcome to the PHAT Nutritionist. That's PHAT for practical, healthy, and tasty. So today I am going to be sharing with you one of my favorite garlic cream sauces, and I'm going to make it into a pasta. Now you can put this sauce on pasta, you can put it on chicken, you can put it on fish, you can even dip bread in it if you want to. That's really how delicious it is and how versatile it is. Now, everyone has their way of how they would like to make garlic cream pasta or garlic cream sauce, but I like to make mine with a few, extra ingredients that give that rounded, full body taste. Mine also has a little white wine in it as well. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. Get your pen and your paper ready because we're going to jump right into it after this. I'm going to start off by getting my pasta ready, and I've already got a pot of boiling water. So I want to make sure you guys know that whenever you're getting ready to boil pasta, you'd be so surprised how many people don't know how to boil pasta. They will actually take the pasta and put it in the cold water and then bring the water up to temperature. And you don't want to do that. You want to make sure your water is boiling first. So I'm going to add 2 loose tablespoons of salt because I like to make sure that my water is heavily salted, so that imparts some more flavor into the pasta. Now I'll just show you what my sweetie bought. Organic pasta. You can use macaroni, you can use penne. If you want to use spaghetti, just make sure you don't overcook it. So while my water is getting ready for that to be boiled, I'm going to focus on the other ingredients. Let me tell you what I have for right now. So I'm definitely going to use some garlic. I'm going to make sure I have some garlic. I'm going to use some half and half as well. Some butter. You can use any brand of Parmesan, but for me, I'm going to freshly grate my Parmesan. I love that fresh, nutty flavor. This is about 8 ounces, so about a cup that I'm going to freshly grate. And then to this, I'm gonna add some chopped green olives. I'm also gonna add some chopped black olives. And then I'm gonna throw in a handful of tomatoes, like a can of tomatoes, and some chopped chicken sausage. Now, I know it sounds like a lot, but just to be clear, if you just wanna make the garlic cream sauce in its simplest form, you can start that with butter, garlic, right? And then you can add the cream and some Parmesan cheese, and that can be a great sauce for so many dishes. But like I said, I like to add, different textures. So I'm gonna have little bits of chicken sausage. I'm gonna have little bits of, tomato. I'm gonna fresh grate some Parmesan, and we're gonna get this thing started. Okay, so while I am waiting for the water to boil, I'm just going to go ahead and grate my cheese, and then I'm gonna have that set aside. And there's no rhyme or reason. I just like, I'm gonna use this milder side versus the smallest side to grate the cheese. And it doesn't have to be pretty because the cheese is gonna melt anyway. So once I get that done, then I'm going to move on to chopping up some of my olives and getting a skillet on with the butter and garlic. Now, I have about a cup or so of Parmesan cheese, and trust me, I'm gonna use every bit of this. So I'm just gonna set this aside, and then I'm gonna grate some Parmesan so I can use it as garnish. So I'm gonna set that aside, and then I'm gonna finish grating this. This is actually gonna go into the sauce itself. Now, like I said, you can use already grated Parmesan. That is completely fine. You can use the ground. It looks like it's really ground Parmesan. And I just like the saltiness of Parmesan. So if you want to use like a cheddar cheese or something like that, then you may have to add a little bit more salt to bring out you know, that full flavor that you want with your pasta, with your garlic cream sauce. Okay, so this is about enough. I mean, I know I have just a little left, but I'm just gonna go ahead and put that to the side. And now that I know I have enough for the sauce and I have enough for garnish, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna set this aside. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna chop up some chicken sausage, and this is the chicken sausage that I have. It is wrapped in a collagen casing. And so I like to have this chopped up really, really fine. I don't want too many, you know, chunks in my garlic cream sauce. So this just adds more flavor to my sauce. So I'm just gonna chop this up really quickly. Now you can completely omit the sausage if you want and just have the garlic cream pasta, you know, as is. So what I already have here, I have about a cup of the chopped chicken sausage. Actually, it's a little bit more, but we're gonna use it all. And so I'm just gonna set this aside and change out my cutting boards to my vegetable cutting board so I can chop up some of the green olives and black olives. I have some pretty jumbo, they call them colossal, but these are some green olives. Now these are double stuffed. They have garlic and jalapeno. So let me tell you, I'm trying to get all the flavor into this sauce, and really it's not hard to do. When you're starting off with garlic, you know, and butter, those two just complement each other so well. And I'm just going to chop up about, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I'm gonna do about 10 of these jumbo, and I'm gonna leave all of the inside right where they are. Because I mean, who wants to take out garlic and jalapenos? And I'm just gonna do this kind of one by one by hand. And I know that there's, you know, little tricks that you can do by putting a saucer on top and slicing them across. But honestly, whenever I'm chopping vegetables, I really find this therapeutic. So I really enjoy, you know, chopping. And I find that some people kind of lose the art, you know, of cooking. And quite frankly, if you don't enjoy cooking, then it doesn't matter if you're using a saucer or if you're using, you know, just chopping it one by hand or using a food processor. I mean, if you don't enjoy it, you just won't enjoy it. But I really enjoy it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish getting this chopped up. And my water is boiling, but I wanted to make sure I took some time to set my timer, because sometimes I get really busy, and what I don't want to do is overcook my pasta. There's nothing worse. Well, there's worse things. I mean, it could be burned or sticky or whatever, but I don't like overcooked pasta. I like my pasta, you know, nice and al dente, which means to the tooth. So I like it to have a nice bite on it. If it's overcooked, you know, I'm an unhappy camper. So, you know what, guys? You know, honestly, I wish that I could cook, you know, on screen more like this. But the fact of the matter is, I have 4 school-age children. Well, teenagers. And you know, with them coming in and out and playing video games with their headphones on, it can get a bit loud. And then I have the dog, my Bella, who is, sometimes she's a little needy. She's more needy than me sometimes. Okay, I think I may not really need all 10 of these. So I'm just gonna do 8 and I'll eat the other 2. Does anybody else like olives? I remember when I was growing up, I did not like the way olives taste. I mean, they were just so salty and briny, and I just generally did not enjoy them. I guess I'll chop up some more. Chop up the other 2. It's not a big deal, but I just did not enjoy the way, specifically green olives, because they were just, oh my gosh, just so salty to me. And I don't know, you know, they say your taste buds change, you know, as you get older, and that is the truth, because I'm watching my daughter now. She did not like spicy foods at all. And now she's kind of coming into where, you know, she's enjoying it, or she doesn't even think the food is spicy at all. So they say you get your, you know, your taste buds do change. And my taste buds said that's delicious. Okay, so I'm gonna put my green olives, my chopped green olives, in a little container and set them aside. So far I've chopped up some chicken sausage. I've grated some fresh Parmesan. Remember, you can use already grated Parmesan. And I've done the green olives. So I also want to add some black olives in there. Now, these don't necessarily have to be chopped as fine as the green olives, but it's the timing of when I put the green olives in to the cooking process that I want to have them nice and chopped. So let me get this can of olives drained, and just do a rough chop on them. Now, I'm not even going to clean off my mat after it had the salt from the green olives on it. I'm just gonna continue with it because, you know, black olives don't carry as much salt as green olives. So I had a runaway olive just there. And like I said, I'm just giving it a nice rough chop. And these will be just fine in our sauce. You know, once you start the cooking process, everything goes really, really fast. So, you know, it's important to make sure you have everything, you know, chopped up and ready to go. All right, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my pasta started. Honestly, there really is no rush because after they're cooked, I'm gonna turn them off and drain them immediately and set them aside. Now, this type of pasta, you wanna have it boil for about 8 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to add to this melting butter. I'm going to turn down my fire a little bit, and I'm going to add a couple tablespoons of some minced garlic. Give that a little whirl. I'm also going to add my chicken, just my chicken sausage, and let that cook together for just a few. And I really like to impart some color onto the chicken sausage as well. Now, for those of you that don't want to add any meat, that's completely fine. So what you can do is just start your butter and your garlic. And then right after you get your garlic nice and caramelized, you don't want to overcook it because it will become bitter. Then you want to add your half and half. You can also use heavy cream, but I'm using a fat-free half and half. You can also use milk. You can use a skim milk. But if you use a skim milk, more than likely you'll need to add in a little bit of starch just to make your sauce a little bit thicker. All right, so while this is cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my green olives, and this is gonna definitely add some of the salt that I don't have to add. And you can use an extra minute, and that's what I'm going to give it to, just an extra minute. Okay, so I'm going to turn the fire up a little because I kind of want it to not burn, but just kind of add some color to the chicken sausage, almost like a light scorch. And then after that, that's when I'm going to add the white wine and deglaze the pan. Because this is a non-stick skillet, I won't have a whole lot of deglazing happening, but I'm definitely still gonna have that, you know, flavor that I'm looking for. All right, it's that caramelization that I'm looking for. Yes, yes, indeed. Oh, I wish you could smell this. So now it's about maybe a fourth, less than a fourth of a cup. So I'm gonna let the alcohol cook out. Oh man, that smells absolutely wonderful. All right, my pasta is done. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my black tomatoes. I'm sorry, my black olives. I'm gonna also add in a can of Rotel tomatoes. You can omit this if you don't want to, but I like to add it because I love when I have tomatoes in my cream sauce, especially over pasta. It's just really, really tasty. Now I'm gonna let this cook down just a little bit, let some of the sauce cook out. I'm gonna drop the temperature a little bit to about medium, and then I'm gonna add a quart of half and half. Just gonna go ahead and add that right in. And then I'm going to add a cup of that freshly shredded Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that right in. Now this is where it gets very, what can I call it? You just have to be patient with the sauce, because what you don't want is to turn up the fire and then have the sauce start to boil. You don't want this sauce to boil because it can break. And when I say break, that means, you know, the milk solids will separate from the water. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cover this, and I'm gonna turn my fire really, really low. That sauce is so delicious. I don't have to add any salt. In fact, I have not added any salt to this dish yet. All the salt that has flavored the dish has come from the olives or the seasoning from the chicken sausage. I'm gonna add it a little bit at a time, just to make sure I'm able to, you know, continue stirring. Because I'm serious about not breaking my sauce, y'all. Oof. And the sauce is so good. All right, you guys. That did not take long. Our pasta is done. All I need is some vegetables and some bread, some crusty bread, and we gonna be eating. So let me just show you how I finish this off. And as you can see, it is quite a lot. Look at that. Just want to make sure you can see. This is, oh my goodness, and it smells so wonderful. Now, I added like just a little handful of parsley, not a handful, but a few little sprigs of parsley. And let me fix this. Whew. Look at this. All right. Oh my goodness. That looks absolutely amazing. I'm gonna cover it because I don't want my pasta sauce. I don't want my pasta to dry out. Now it's time to give this a taste. Remember, I had some of that Parmesan cheese that was grated and left over, so of course I gotta take some of that in. Put a little bit of that on top. Let me let you see this. Oh, look at that. The smell is amazing. The sauce was so flavorful even before, you know, I finished adding the rest of the ingredients. So, now to give it a taste. It ain't even touched my tongue good. And that is so, oh my goodness. Ooh. Mm-mm-mm. Mmm. The green olives. A few little sprigs of parsley, fresh parsley, Parmesan. Mmm. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Perfect balance of saltiness. Mmm. The pasta is cooked perfectly. And the little bits of chicken sausage, y'all, I'm gonna mess around and be full before I serve my family. Yeah, my taste buds are dancing. So serious. Okay. That is good, y'all. Woo! And I hope you love that recipe. I love the recipe. You guys, don't forget, let's prosper through serving others. I love you guys. See you guys next week.